Welcome to Wrestling Hill Talk, where we talk all things wrestling old and new. I'm your host, Heck and Steve. We've got Roger Elkins II, Shane, Kev the Wise Man, Ben Bowman Tag Champ, Dr. Nick, aka Best in the World, Will the Tribal Chief, and Brian TRC
Kick me
was
out.
backstage for some reason, but welcome back in. How's everybody doing? I know we got a lot to talk about today, since we skipped last week. I got to redo that intro too.
Yeah, I've been good.
Yeah.
I was sick this morning. I don't know what
Yeah.
happened, but I'm feeling good now. So,
Well, that's good. Probably had to get you something to eat, man.
no, I had the chills like late last night into this morning, and then I just felt like crap all day and freaking went to sleep and slept half the day.
Damn, man. We'll get you some coffee, man. It's going to be a long show. What's up, guys? Welcome in, everyone. Glad to see everybody. Yeah, I know, man. It's only been like 2 weeks, but it feels like 2 years, man. It was a long holiday weekend as well. We're going to get into that. I was actually able to see the tribal chief, Will, came by the house and for Thanksgiving and dropped off a few things on his way to the Winston-Salem convention. And we're going to get into that. We're going to jump into that first. So, Will, why don't you go ahead and kick us off? Tell us about Aiden and everything and how everything went. And then if there's anything bad that happened, save that for later and we'll go back to it.
Yeah, I mean, regardless of, travel, the cold weather, everything else, it was all worth it just to be able to provide that opportunity for that young man. I've talked about it before. I think a lot of times those folks get forgotten more than anybody. People with mental challenges, people with Down syndrome, autism, all those different challenges. And, I've had the opportunity in the past to work with folks like that too, and try to do things to, really cheer them up and make them have a great day. And, it just turned out, it couldn't have turned out any better. It just turned out great. And, I think everybody was truly happy with it. I know he was happy with it. I know his mother was really surprised with how much we had done. The entire admin team was super excited about the whole thing. I mean, I think everybody, just was uh, really shocked with how well it all went, and he was so excited. And anytime you can do something like that for someone, one of the first things he said when we first met up with him was, "You guys are my friends," and you really could feel that interaction with him, and then not just that, but um, just the joy, the excitement, um, you know kind of like being a little kid on Christmas, how excited you are when you get to the tree and Santa's came and you see all the stuff. That's really the feeling we had throughout the entire, process with him from the very beginning to the end was, he literally had that holiday joy that, just a genuinely happy person. And he loved everything he got. I've sincerely thanked everybody that helped contribute to that. And I know we did a lot of stuff, and I can tell you it wasn't easy. I mean, I worked with a lot of organizations in the past that were much easier to work with, and it was not easy uh, getting in contact with this organization and doing all this. It wasn't easy at all. They weren't as receptive as some of the other ones in the past, and it was really last minute before we even had our guest named. And but TRC came through with flying colors, and everybody, put together a great big holiday, special for them. And what a great opportunity. That's my biggest takeaway. I got to spend time with, a lot of the TRC guys while I was there, and that was cool. But that whole opportunity with him was just absolutely amazing, and I hope he remembers that, and I'm sure he will for the rest of his life, and I know we will too, because what an opportunity. And we definitely look forward to doing that again, and doing other things just like that. So
Absolutely, man. Anybody else want to talk about this weekend,
I'd
or
like
as
to
far as
chime in.
working with Aiden?
I'd like to chime in real fast. I fell in love with this boy. He was amazing. and being a father of special needs children, I just think that I just clicked with him, and he was booping us. He was just having a blast, and me and Will was outside standing with him, waiting for his mom to come and pick him up. He was telling us bye and everything. The last thing he said when he closed the door was he looked at me, he said, "I love you," and boy, that's pulling at my heartstrings right now. I mean, that's what Hmm, you know, that's just it was unbelievable, the connection I made and we all made. But I'm just talking about the personal that I could just feel, you know, with him was just unbelievable. I just wanted
Yeah,
to mention that.
yeah, it
Absolutely.
was.
That's good stuff, man. And that's the best payment of all when you can do something nice for someone and then
Yes,
see
sir.
how much it impacts and makes them feel good and that makes
Hmm.
you feel good in return. So hell yeah.
Yeah,
That's awesome, man. Yeah. Hopefully next time I'll be able to go out to convention and be there too, but I had to hold down
yeah,
the fort once more, like always. Anybody else or Ben, you want to talk about the convention experience?
Yeah, I had a blast. Got to hang out with the guys. I got to see members of the TRC, Craig Weber, Corey Story. I'm sure there's some other ones that we've missed. That those just popped in my head that I saw there. Uh, like I said, I had fun. Aiden was my favorite part of the weekend. Uh, helping him out, and we got to walk him to meet several of the talent. Like I said, I enjoyed that. Seeing him open the gifts, had that big smile on his face. That made it worth it. And other than that, got to see a few talents that I wanted to see, and other than all, it's a good trip.
Who would you say he was most excited to see? Anyone
From when
stand
I
out
was
in
with him,
particular?
yeah, when I was with him, he had
Maybe
Joey
Joey.
Janela. Yeah,
yeah,
Joey Janela was
Really?
probably the one. Yeah, because
yeah,
Joey would take off, took off his glasses. Aiden got to wear them, and then they were making, jokes and stuff. And yeah, Joey Janela probably was the number one.
That's cool. And he knew who that was?
yeah. Oh yeah,
Wow, so he's like an old school wrestling fan.
Well,
Isn't
he's seen
Joey
him on
Janela old?
AEW. I think he's really into AEW. So
Gotcha. Okay.
Joey's in the Game Changing Network or Game Changing Wrestling, GCW.
yeah,
He was in
Ah, okay.
AEW. Yeah,
and
like the hardcore.
he
Yeah,
also loved meeting Fuego del Sol.
Yeah,
yeah.
yep.
that's awesome. Yeah, somebody asked in the comments. I didn't see the comment, but they asked who was his favorite to meet. But I already beat you to it and asked, and also good evening to you, and thanks for joining us.
He
Um,
said
But
that
his
when we
but
asked
his
him questions, he
absolute
loved
favorite,
everything.
above and beyond all was Kev.
yeah.
Yeah,
Y'all gonna tear me up again.
Well,
yeah. He
that kind of
was.
makes sense though, because Kev has the most experience, like with communicating with
Mhm.
special needs. So it was probably easier for him to make that bond.
I will never forget it as long as I live. It was amazing.
Kev's kind of my favorite too.
Thank you, sir.
Sorry.
That's really awesome. I mean, it puts into perspective that, kids in general, they haven't lost that magic of, you know, being excited to meet a wrestler that you've seen on TV or, having that friendship bond with somebody. Unfortunately, a lot of us, as the older we got, we kind of got a little jaded, to say the least. I know
Yeah,
I did.
For sure. Yeah, I tell you, man, when you first start meeting wrestlers in general, you kind of get a little intimidated. But it seems like he had a lot of fun doing that. So,
And
that's
yeah,
good for
he
him.
got a mask. And then what did he pick out? Did he pick out a Hogan shirt? Is that what he finally
yes,
picked out? Okay.
yep,
Sweet. Yeah,
yep.
that's awesome, man.
He was wearing his mask outside, and he was kind of tapping on everybody and saying boop boop
Yep.
and tapping on random people. And one little boy come by, and he was wearing his mask, and they ended up giving each other the fist bump. So I thought that was really cool. So I mean, it
Awesome.
just like I said. the memories alone are just worth the whole trip.
So aside from the Aiden experience, was there anything else that happened that was interesting, good or bad, over here at the Winston-Salem convention?
I got to see Kane
I would
again.
say typical um, massive upcharging throughout the show. I mean, I saw prices this weekend that I haven't seen anywhere else. I mean, wrestlers charging $100 to sign a belt. Some wrestlers charging $120 to sign a figure. I mean, some of that stuff
Yeah.
it's so outrageous. You know, the upcharging. I don't know. I'll let one of these other guys talk about it though.
I was a victim of the upcharge again. I had
Yeah.
to pay Scott Steiner $80 to sign 11 by 14 NWO auto or photo I had because it already had Kevin Nash and Bret Hart on there, and his auto was like $40 this weekend. And just because they had those two already on there, it was he charged me another additional $40 to sign a 11 by 14 photo. So I had to do that. Then his brother Rick was unannounced. Uh, he was there. I was like, heck yeah, I could see the Steiner brothers or get a chance to get the some Steiner autographs. So I did bring the new Rick Steiner figure. Well, I went over to ask how much he was charging, and it was $120 just to sign that figure.
Oh my god,
Yep, no
So
way.
that is
they didn't
nuts.
announce him. They didn't announce him because they didn't want any drama.
Right.
And
But,
he probably
yep,
didn't get a lot of sales with $120 either, because
correct.
I don't think everybody's jumping out their seats to get a Rick Steiner autograph these days.
Hey, that's
I
the price
bought
of
one
that's the
Will.
price of a Typhoon Elite.
Yeah, exactly.
I bought
But
a Rick
and
Steiner
it's
auto.
He's
from Will
proud
the
of
other
them
day.
figures.
Yeah.
yeah, but to say about as the convention, it's never ran or it's not good organized. It's a cluster. Everything's so congested. There's not much room in between. We had one guy that was in a fishnet all day, just screaming on the top of his lungs. Just come over to pay $10 for him. I was like, so that was annoying already. And then by the congestion, it was unorganized. I love the area, but as a fan or as a vendor, I probably would not go back and do that show.
Yeah.
You know, I
I
got a quick
agree.
run through whenever I
I
can, but
agree. I agree. I don't think I would ever do that show again. I've done it twice, and first time it was just well, you know, it's ridiculously packed, and they put up these terrible guardrails where you can only go one way around the entire ballroom, and it's not vendor friendly. You know, I mean, once they get your money for the table at the show, they don't really care how you do sales wise or anything else. But
Right.
and it's certainly not fan friendly because the line is so thick, the herd is so thick of a line that comes through that for you to stop in front of a wrestler's table to try and get an autograph or anything else, you're getting bumped and pushed and everything else. So it's definitely not fan friendly either. I would say there's probably like a 0% chance I would ever go back to that.
yeah,
Yeah. And just to add to what Dr. Nick said earlier about Rick Steiner being proud of his figure as well, that's probably the last figure he's going to get.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I hope he's pretty proud of it.
I want to
Yeah.
add some things if you don't mind.
Yeah, go for it, man.
You know, guys, if you get a chance when you're watching the Tag Champs live event and they have these up here, man, you know, take advantage of their steals because I'm telling you, you're not going to get them at this convention or at these convention prices. And this convention was a cluster fuck. I mean, you couldn't walk without bumping into people. You know, if you're going the opposite direction, you know, they're coming, they're cussing you. I mean, it was that tight like a sardine can. But one of the first conventions I ever went to was up here to Lexington. It was 2017. And I met Ric Flair and I met Wendy. Wendy was the one taking his money. It cost for an auto and a picture. It cost me $50 because what was going on is you didn't have these upcharges, and the people, the talent, didn't have anybody with them arranging the upcharges, and the place paid the talent to come there, and they got their money from the admission fee. Now prices are everywhere. You know, if you just want to put like a period at the end of their name, they're going to charge you like $55. It's stupid. So, you know, if you get a chance to buy from these guys, I mean, we go out there and we get the stuff, we bring it back to you and give it to you at a hell of a price. And then you don't have to worry about being bumped. You don't have to worry about being jumped. And you get a hell of a deal at the same time. I just wanted to point that out.
Someone in the comments asked, why do you feel the upcharge of prices go up? Is it because maybe they're arrogant or entitlement of who they are has gone to their head?
You know, one person does it and then the other person gets word of it and does it a little bit higher. Like a
Yeah,
competition.
snowballs.
It sucks.
I have to
It can
wonder if
be.
it has a lot to do with you have vendors who put in their ear like, "Hey, man, what if you charge this? You know, like charge something more for a belt or a chair," and they go, "Yeah, let's try that," and then it catches on.
Hmm. Yeah. Also, it has to do with everything being more expensive in general, so they want more money for their stuff because they don't want to be devalued compared to how much eggs cost or some shit, you know?
Well, you would have think they would have learned that, when everything was stopped to a halt in 2020 and then 2021 came around and, certain places were having conventions, but you think they would have learned, like, hey, we weren't making anything. Now people are coming back out. Let's try not to price gouge them. But,
Hmm.
that's logic.
Yeah, nah,
That's the
it
name of the game
usually doesn't
now.
go like that.
That's the name of the game now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, on the
Well,
Tag Champs live event, you can get a Hogan. You know, Will sells Hogan's at phenomenal prices. And now, what was it, Will? He's going to have a signing coming up, and you can't get in the door for less than $400. Is that right?
Yeah.
that's
Yep.
poop.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Two autos for four, or is that one auto?
One. That's your general
One.
admission. And trust me,
Yeah.
Will sells Hogan's left for less than $400. So if
It
anybody out there does
sounds.
check out the Tag Champs, come check them out because
Steven, you laugh about that, but you watch and see. There'll be a line for
Yeah,
people to get
yeah,
probably.
stuff signed by Hogan.
But I
yeah,
was laughing
Oh,
because
yeah.
Yeah.
it sounds like my Sting and Hogan thing is never gonna get autographed by Hogan because I'm not gonna pay $400 for Hogan's autograph.
well, I guess they're doing it because you get to see them too. But you know, as long as I have the
Well, yeah,
autograph, I don't have to see the person because usually, you
yeah,
know, that's when I met Sting for the first time. He barely looked at me and said, "Is this your pin?" And that's all the interaction I got with him.
damn. Michael Bure, admin Michael Bure says, honestly, it's a
Yep.
sports collectible market right now. If people are willing to pay for it, they will try and get it. That's true. Someone else says, I think maybe the wrestlers promise a certain cut to the vendors, so maybe that's why they charge so much. Slaughter and Rakishi were charging different prices depending on what it was getting signed. It's sad. I agree. And someone said, typical of Rakishi to do that. Yeah, we've talked about
Yeah.
Rakishi
Oh,
on here
yeah.
before.
Well, I'm glad Jake was in a good mood. The last time I spoke to him, the only words I heard out of his mouth was, "Who shit at my table?"
And we all
He
know the
he
answer
looked.
to that.
Yeah.
Sabu.
Yep.
He's the homicidal,
Yeah.
genocidal.
Jake was in a good mood.
Diarrheal.
Yep. Jake was in a good mood Saturday.
That's what's up. Well, hey, not only did we have the convention, the Aiden experience, we had Thanksgiving and Black Friday, which we're going to show off a lot today with our show and tell, I imagine. But there was also a PLE, which I almost called a pay per view, this past Saturday, and I watched about 10% of it. I watched the whole thing, but I only watched 10%. Uh, really the only two big things that happened from what I could see is that Randy Orton made a return and then CM Punk returned. And I want to get everybody's take on this. So let's start with Roger.
I
How
watched the whole thing. I thought that the women's cage match was pretty awesome with what they were doing off the top rope, top of the cage, and such and such. I'm not a CM Punk fan, so I wasn't happy to see him come back. Randy Orton, I was, and I think that'll be good for WWE. But I also think they were pandering to the Chicago crowd, bringing CM Punk back right then. So, I mean, it just is what it is. Like I said, I'm not a CM Punk fan, and I think that they could have done better.
Yeah. Shane, what about you, man? How you feel about it?
Um, I'm happy Randy Orton's back. I'm a big fan of Randy. Uh, CM Punk, I wasn't expecting it. Um, I didn't really watch wrestling back when he was in WWE, so it didn't really matter to me that he's back. But
Yeah.
I like the fact that he likes GI Joe and he's got a Cobra tattoo.
And
So
the
Hey, he
he's
likes
Lions
so
are
he's
Pepsi.
doing
so
good.
he's all right in my book.
Awesome. And Kev, what do you think, man?
I didn't really get to see the show, because we were out hanging out, but I've seen clips and everything. CM Punk showing up, it is what it is. I give him 6 months, and something's going to happen in between there. I don't think he's going to be there a multi-year or whatever. So I
Yeah.
give it about 6 months. Let's see what they do with him. I think that promo that he done on Monday night was one of the most horrible promos I've ever seen him do, because it was like it looked like he was fed. I don't know. I just don't think it's going to work, and I think that right now they're telling him what to say, and he's going to go off, and it's just going to be another thing. But I love that Randy come back, and let's see where we go from there.
Roger?
If I can stick in. So there was talk once the PLE ended that they were holding
Seth Rollins?
Thank you. Seth Rollins back is Michael Cole and somebody else, so he didn't go to the back gorilla position.
I
Just
think that was a
because
work.
It's all a work.
I don't
Yeah.
know, because if you look at it, Seth is. I'm not going to say talk shit about him, but Seth has made his point known that he does not like
They knew
CM
Punk
Punk.
was coming back months ago. I think that was just a angle that they threw in there, like, "Hey Seth, can you say some crap and see if we can feed off this?" Because controversy creates cash.
It's
So
a
they
little bit
can.
of half and half
Uh,
as far as I think, because they do not like each other.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So they're
They
gonna make
hate
an
each
angle
other.
out of it.
Yeah, they hate each other.
Yeah. And me personally, man, I don't like CM Punk at all. I think he's a mediocre wrestler and he's a terrible person on the mic. He's got the dumbest fucking name in history, CM Punk. The only thing that was cool about him is he had Kill Switch Engage as his theme song, and then he changed it to the Living Color song, which I'm tired of hearing because I used to play Guitar Hero and that song's on there, so I'm done with that. Um, but yeah, I don't care about CM Punk at all, and I hope he doesn't get fed to the top, and I hope he's not the one that's gonna try to come in and take over as top guy because
There's no way in hell.
it wouldn't make sense. So I think it's good that they're getting him to work with Seth, but Randy Orton, on the other hand, would be a great uh, top heel, or not top heel, but a top guy to take over for Roman's spot,
To
which
beat
obviously.
Roman.
But then again, that's not anything new because we've seen Randy be champion several times before. But yeah, Ben, what do you think, man?
Well, it was unsuspected to see Punk back, which I enjoyed the women's match out of everything. Uh, the War Games, especially when EO jumped off the top of the cage with inside of a trash can. That was my favorite moment. Uh, and then throughout the show, I had it on, but we're traveling and we're hanging out. Then we watched the end of the men's War Game match. Of course, good to see Randy Orton come out. That was awesome. And then the Punk was just kind of unexpected, which I felt like if they said that he signed that minutes before it ended, which for me, why do it then, and it was kind of a sorry, hey, well, Randy Orton's back, and then there's Punk, and then now it's time to end. Why didn't they give Randy just that night, and then on Monday have Punk come out and be a surprise? And that few little 5 minutes or few seconds when he come out, to me, it was just kind of pointless. Then
Chicago.
last night, then
It
last
was
night,
all about the pop.
yeah, and then on Monday night, like I said, what Kev just said, it didn't seem like a CM Punk promo. It seemed scripted. It seemed like he was told what to say. He was kissing ass. And if you caught the very end of it, he goes, I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to make money. And that's the true Punk. So
Yep.
I like Punk. I like him. He's different, and you can talk that shit, and it's something different. But right now, it's getting to the point where he's getting too old, and I'd rather still see some of these other guys get that push. But that's how just my opinions on it.
If he takes LA
I
Knight's
think
push, I'll beat his ass.
I think the only reason they brought him out then was the location, because it was in Chicago. Yep, that was the only reason.
They could have, but they should. If they were going to do that, they should have had him be the person in the match, and then have Randy Orton come out on Monday. And also, I honestly, I can't. I guess CM Punk is desperate for money, because why the hell would he agree to work for Triple H? He hates Triple H, because he always cried that Triple H wouldn't let him have his spot back in the day, and that's why he ended up leaving in the first place.
Well, supposedly he's getting Undertaker and Brock money.
And he's a whore.
Yeah.
Well, because that company TKO, they forked over the money.
That's true. That's true. Yeah.
Ever since this merger, they got a lot more money to work with.
Well, Nick, why don't you go ahead, since it's your turn, and just tell us how you
So
feel.
I enjoyed the pay-per-view. The War Games match, both of them were really good. I thought The Miz and Gunther went very well. We all knew Miz wasn't going to win, but that's not what the point of the match was. It was to show that, regardless of what people, either you like Miz or you don't, he's still one of the most sound guys that could have a match with anyone and make them look like $1 million. And that's, if you could do that, everybody wants to work with you. I like Punk. I've always liked Punk. I guess my thing is, like, at first when I heard about, him getting let go because of getting in a fight with, Jack Perry, I'm like, okay, let's see what comes out of it. And I look at it and I go, okay, how much of this is Punk and how much is this is just the backstage area also being toxic? Because they complained about Cody. Cody left. Things didn't magically get better. They complained about Punk enough to finally, there was no evidence that even, this fight even took place, other than, hearsay, which it probably did. And then he left, and now the ratings, are just same as they were. It wasn't like the show got better after he left. And Will brought this up months ago. They lost their Hogan. They did. Who do they have now? Besides MJF, if he were to leave today, who do they have? Other, like Moxley, as much as I love him, he's not a moneymaker.
Nope.
You don't have that big star. And that's
they have a lot
problem.
of good wrestlers, but that's all they got.
Yeah, exactly. And you could say that about Impact. They have a lot of good wrestlers, but unless you have those quintessential guys who just bring in that money, bring people's eyes to the product, then you don't have it.
And Sting's on his way out, and he's not even a top guy anymore.
Yeah.
Well, there was
they got Edge, but Edge is
but how many years has he got?
Way out too.
There was talk that Bryan Danielson was on the committee that investigated CM Punk and was ultimately in the decision to fire him.
Yeah.
Brian's almost done too.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
They're about to lose all the legends that they paid all that money for.
Yep.
Pretty funny.
But that's all I got.
Well, they better get good at building talent. You know, that's one thing that AEW is not good at is getting people over. Is from what I can see, it's either the wrestler has to do it themselves, or that's it. Because I mean,
Well, they
I don't.
lost
Look,
Jade Cargill.
I was
Yeah,
just about to say that. Look at Jade Cargill. She was the top. She had
They'll do
records.
more with
And they
her
turned
in
around and
6 months than they did with almost a year and a half, 2 years with her in AEW.
I agree. I agree 100%.
Will, what do you think, man?
Yeah, I called it a long time ago. It's sad. But I'll say this, and this is a very, very big point. Vince McMahon a long time ago stopped allowing the wrestlers to call themselves wrestlers, calls them superstars, and he doesn't let them talk about professional wrestling. He talks about entertainment, and this right here is the exact reason why. Because yes, you have a ton of great wrestlers in AEW and a ton of great wrestlers in Ring of Honor, TNA, Impact, wherever you may be. But where is your superstar? Where's your Hogan? Where's your Macho? Where's all those guys? Where's your Ultimate Warrior? Where's your Ric Flair? Your Stinger of the past? And I think that's the key. And it's sad, but they don't have a top talent. Who's the face of their company? MJF, and I mean that's sad. So it'll hurt. They're already hurting to put fans in the seats anyway, and it'll definitely hurt for sure. But you never know with Punk because Punk could misbehave at any point over in WWE and be gone again. So, but hopefully somewhere along the way he's matured and looking at that paycheck that he can earn by behaving. Hopefully he'll be there and do the job like he's supposed to do and be fine. Um, because he does have great potential as a talent. I don't really care for the guy. I never liked the guy, but he does have great potential as a talent. So if he can do what he's there to do and not cause all kinds of other issues, then he'll be great for the company. But do I see him down the road beating Roman at WrestleMania and becoming champion? No, no way. I think we're not talking 2012, 2011 Punk, 2013 Punk. We're talking 2023 Punk. And do I think he's main event in WrestleMania 40 this year? Maybe on night one with Seth, but that's kind of the second place belt, and definitely not with Roman. I can see Randy though. I could definitely see Randy. Definitely see him coming back because I talked about it quite a bit. That year SummerSlam 2021 was supposed to be Randy and Roman at SummerSlam, so I can see it.
Yeah. Someone asked in the comments, do you think MJF in 2024 will go to WWE? Honestly, he might. I don't know if they really want him though. He's
That
really
dude better stay where
controversial.
he's at. That dude better stay
Yeah,
where he's.
I don't see him going anywhere because he can get the same money from Tony Khan. He's the only one, but he can get the same money from Tony Khan.
There's
Mhm.
certain guys that would not do well in WWE, not because they're bad wrestlers, not because they're bad entertainers. Certain guys just do well in a certain environment. They have their in AEW they have a lot more freedom
Mhm.
to be
Yeah,
their character however they want it to be versus you go to WWE, they're going to tell you what to do. If they don't like your name, they're going to change it.
no.
And
Yeah.
if you don't like it, you can leave.
Something I want to bring up to Will after Ben talks. Go ahead, Ben.
I got a question because, like I said, I'm going back rewatching WCW was WCW that bad in attendance and that bad of money draw as like AEW is like right now? Because I don't remember seeing
Oh,
Hard Cam being that empty, and you got
No, no, that's not what killed WCW.
um,
What killed WCW is the pay-per-views. The money was going to Turner Enterprises instead of going to WCW. So all their pay-per-view buy rates, where they were hitting like a million pay-per-view buy rates, where basically your pay-per-view sales is what pays the bills. That and your gate sales for the arena or the stadium, and all of that money was being funneled back to Turner Enterprises. So it was going to the entertainment company, not coming back to WCW. That's how it went bankrupt, not because they weren't filling seats until the very last day of WCW. And you can go back and look at the Nitros and go back and look at the pay per views. Even some of the horrible pay per views they had in like 2000 and early 2001, and they were bad shows. Their arenas were packed full,
Mhm.
but every bit of their pay-per-view sales, which I believe even up until that point was always in the half a million range or more on pay-per-view sales, the
Yep.
money was being funneled back to Turner Enterprises. So that money would have been used to pay like for your talent, would have been used to pay for the show, would have been used to pay for everything. So the money just dried up.
Well, and I listened to a lot of Eric Bischoff. He said that there was still money coming in. For instance, like when a pay per view is shown back then on satellite or cable, you wouldn't get that money for 5 to 6 months later.
Yeah.
But then when it finally did kick in, you would be getting multiple payments from different companies at the same time for airing your show. So,
Yeah.
that there was never really a deficit. It was just, like Will said, if you don't have money to keep up, well, and we all know from the biographies, Turner, most of the executives did not want anything to do with WCW at all. They wanted it gone. When the merger happened with AOL and Time Warner, they're like, nope, we're done.
Yeah, they just wanted to milk it.
Yeah.
Brian, what do you think about Survivor Series? Wrap this up and then we'll go into show and tell.
It really bothers me that you guys are really excited about Randy Orton and CM Punk coming back, but R-Truth came back. No one's excited about R-Truth? Come on
Of course
now.
I am, but if he ain't doing the
No.
24/7 segments,
I'm
then
just,
I don't
I'm
care.
just, I'm just teasing. No, I thought it was a good pay per view. When CM Punk came out at the end, it didn't surprise me. I mean, I wasn't like giddy jumping up for joy. I'm just like, why is he here? Because
Yeah.
I don't see him bringing real much value to what they have now. So he's just a big name, is all it is.
I think the crowd just likes to say CM Punk, CM Punk. I wouldn't take a free ice cream from the bastard.
Jesus.
So
that's comment of the night.
What would you do for a Klondike bar? Steven said, nothing. I wouldn't do a damn thing.
Kick CM Punk in the nuts.
Hey, just one last thing. Just one last thing. So, Will, you mentioned CM Punk versus Seth Rollins. If there really is heat, and really the heat is as bad as Seth is showing, do you really think it would be smart for the company to do a match between the two?
Yeah, that's what they always do. Anytime there's heat between wrestlers, because you want that chemistry to look and feel as real as possible. And a lot of the greatest feuds that have ever happened in wrestling have been when wrestlers literally have a beef with each other.
Yep.
So yes, I think you'll see that main event. Probably night one WrestleMania. Do I think you'll see it before then? No, because we're going into December. Going into December, everything's all about preparation for the Rumble. The Rumble is all about preparation for WrestleMania, for the biggest show of the year. So, do I think we'll see it before WrestleMania 40? No, but I do think we'll see it there. I think they'll put on a good match, but unfortunately, it'll be for the second place title, and it really doesn't matter who carries that belt. Seth's there every day doing this thing in and out, every single week. And it's all the stuff that Punk griped about when he left in 2014 is all these older guys come back and steal the spotlight from these younger guys. Well, guess what just happened on Saturday? Punk come back and stole the spotlight from everybody at the end of Survivor Series. So, very hypocritical. But at the end of the day, if there's a Punk fan out there that's going to buy a shirt or buy a figure or buy an ice cream bar or whatever, then that's what it's all about. They're going to buy the merchandise that helps keep the corporate giant going. And that's, what it's all about. One thing I wanted to say, though, Ben brought up that point about hard cam side and, attendance and stuff. If you ever go back and just Google and look at like pay-per-view buys for WCW, some of the crappiest, lousiest pay-per-views ever put on by WCW had the largest buy rates. So, and you got to remember too, even back then, pay-per-views were $40 or $50. Even in the '90s, they were $30 and $40. That's a lot of money back then. So I would say, go back. Everybody should do some homework this week. Go back and look up old pay-per-view buy rates, and look up WCW's in the '90s. Look up WWE from like '88, maybe like WrestleMania 4 time period forward, because you got to remember a lot of WrestleMania, prior to '88. A lot of it was done on CCTV. A lot of it was done on different things. So you can't really get a good, accurate feel prior to WrestleMania 4 for WF or WWE. But if you look from like WrestleMania 4, '88 forward and look at pay-per-view buy rates, and you'll just see how they start stacking and stacking and stacking. You got to think about all that money coming in and where that money gets paid out. And ultimately, from a financial side, not even from a wrestling side or an entertainment side, but ultimately from a financial side, that's how WWF was able to win the Monday Night Wars. I'm not saying they didn't have better characters. I'm not saying they didn't have better storylines. I'm just saying from a financial aspect only, that's where they were able to win the Monday Night Wars.
And real quick, I really think Cora Jade's happy now that her dad's back in the WWE.
Yes.
Right, Roger?
I agree.
And AJ Lee is fabulous and happy.
You silly guys. All right, well,
Bam Bam Bigelow's pissed though.
yeah, Scott Bam Bam Bigelow. That's his name, man, since birth. All right, let's move into show and tell. I know everybody's probably got some goodies to show off this week since we just had Black Friday. A lot of you guys went to conventions, and you guys just have good selections at your stores. So I'll go ahead and I'll go first here. So Will did come visit me. I got free delivery on my order. I got a couple of things off him the past few weeks. Starting with this Elite Loose Goldberg. Got a good price on that.
Nice.
And
That's cool.
then I saw it post this one for sale so many times. I was like, I felt bad, and I had to pick up the AJ Styles. And then I'll show this one after this. Finally got me a Vader autograph, and it's certified. So I was excited about that. Got it when Will was doing the 10% off, I believe. So got it for a good price. Oh, couple of pop figures that I got off of Amazon. I think I paid like $350 for the Undertaker Amazon exclusive.
I've seen that.
Yeah, he was like super cheap on sale. And then this one was sweet too. Amazon exclusive, Mr. T and Hulk Hogan. I think I paid $10 for this. These are normally $25.
Yeah.
So I was excited about that. And then I got this Ultimate Attitude Era Kane here. And dude, this guy is super tall. Like if you compare, he's like way taller. So it was really cool that they scaled it like that. And awesome. I'm not sure if you guys know what this comes with or what this is part of, but
comes with a ring.
Got the Attitude Era ring.
That's dope.
Which I haven't taken out of the box yet, but I do plan to soon. And I'm super excited to have that because I'm planning on making some videos where I like make them fight and stuff. I'm trying to make it goofy as hell.
Awesome.
You mean play, right? Gonna say it. You're gonna play with them.
I'm gonna play, and not only that, but I'm gonna film it for everybody to see.
There you go.
And I'm
That's
gonna do
already good.
I'm gonna do voiceover work and post production sound effects. It's gonna be great.
I'll watch it.
Hell
Me too.
yeah. That's what I'm talking about. But yeah, that's all I got for show and tell this week. It was a pretty good haul, in my opinion. All right, Roger, you're next, man.
I got nothing. I'm waiting on a couple of boxes to come in, but I got nothing this week.
I cannot believe that. You telling me the man that spares no expense did not get anything for Black Friday weekend?
Now hold on. If I'd have spared no expense, you wouldn't have that Bray Wyatt.
Come on now. That was yesterday. That wasn't over the Black Friday weekend. And I don't have it yet. I haven't bought it or had it sent to me yet. So
Hey, Roger, show
I'm
that
definitely getting it, though.
beautiful turnbuckle pad.
Oh, yeah, okay. I got this from Ben. He got it signed for me. It's got Bret the Hitman Hart and Shawn Michaels on it.
Woo!
That's cool.
See,
Yeah,
that's
it's
something.
pretty
And
awesome.
you weren't gonna show that.
That's awesome.
I believe I showed it 2 weeks ago, so that's why
That's
I
sweet, Roger.
didn't want to show it again.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Who cares? Show it.
That's worthy of an
Awesome.
encore.
Well, there you go. I got that.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
Oh,
big
yeah.
shout out to Ben for that. Greatly appreciate it. He's the man. Then
All
you
right,
got
Shane.
William.
I picked up this Dominic Mysterio.
Nice.
I also got the Scott and the EO Sky in the other room. And then I got this Cobra Commander.
Oh, sweet.
Nice.
And then I got like this little Ultimate Warrior bundle for real cheap.
Nice.
It came with
Very sweet.
these ones.
Those are the classic superstar or the superstars. Oh, there's a Hasbro.
I have him, but it came with him too. And then that one.
Nice.
I got them all for like $50.
Good deal.
That's not bad at all.
And then I got this Mysterio.
I love that figure.
Yeah. Lawn dart.
He looks like a lawn dart there.
That Unraveled Warrior.
I like
He's
that
like
hat.
huge here. The old one, thanks. And then I got this little clown guy, G.I. Joe. I picked him up for like $5.
Sweet.
Is that like new or is that vintage?
No, yeah, it's new. It's that reflection, like Super 7. I don't really buy them, but I found them for like $5, so I had to get them for $5.
Oh,
But
yeah.
yeah, these things like brand new are like $22, $23, and I'm not a huge fan of this line, so I wasn't gonna invest in all of them. But since I started finding them for like $5, I figured, why not? I'll pay $5 for it, but I ain't gonna pay $23 for it.
Exactly.
And that's all I got.
That's a pretty good haul.
So just a side note on that. That clown was awesome, and that hat is super cool.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Kev, what you got, man?
Congrats to Ben and Brian with your Packers. It happens.
I got this signed over the weekend.
Oh, sweet.
You can. I got it signed in. It's signed in orange. He loved that, but this video's not giving it justice, but it pops.
No, that thing's beautiful.
I'm trying to.
That's badass.
There we go. Maybe.
I think orange paint pin's a good color for signing just about anything, honestly, because I got some Papa Shango and Godfather autos in that, and it's pretty sweet.
That's what I got. That's me.
Hey, you can tell that, Pop.
It does. It's beautiful. I loved it.
All right, Ben, what you got, man?
All right. Well, I got from the show. I didn't Well, I was kind of bummed out that Black Friday didn't really have many good deals or nothing. I think I picked some stuff up on Cyber Monday, which hopefully you will be here next week. But went to the show and got shoot this light sign right here by Barry Windham and Arn Anderson. Tully was there, but I was unable to get a chance to go see Tully because he was in the other room. So I did get Barry and Arn on there. And then my absolute favorite ones was the Wolfpack. So I got Lex up on the top, Conan on the bottom, and then this was probably my favorite of the Wolfpack photo. There, Conan and Lex. Conan probably had the best deals at the convention because you paid for one auto, and then any additional autos was $10. So that was a hell of a deal. Then I got the Wolfpack signed by poster by Lex and Conan, and I'll have hopefully Nash sign it this weekend. So I'll show that next week. But yeah, that was kind of the ones I got done. And then meeting Vampiro and Conan was probably my favorite talents that I got to meet this weekend. That's all I got.
Excellent.
Sweet.
Good stuff, man. Dr. Nick, what you got, man?
All right. So, Ringside in the past has had good deals on Black Friday. This year sucked.
Oh, yeah.
Hopefully, they usually do like Black Friday 3.0 or 4.0. I got this. I was going to open it anyway, so I didn't care that it was damaged. I got the Painmaker Chris Jericho. I got this for like $11. And this was one of the gimmicks I really enjoyed of his with the different makeup and the spiky jacket. Pretty cool. I was able to finally get this. The Chase Andre the Giant. This gear was, I believe it was on, I don't know if it was on Piper's Pit, but then they also got the idea for the Hogan's Rocket Wrestling cartoon attire from that. So I thought that was cool. Only got a couple more things, not a whole bunch of stuff, so pretty quick. Got the new Scott Steiner and his brother, Rick Steiner. And
The
my
brother.
number one favorite thing, the regular one's in the other room, but I also picked up the ringside exclusive Danhausen.
Yep,
I love how
that's
this
one-
package
that
is
one's
with the cape. I'm gonna bring this to hopefully he'll be at Squared Circle. He has been last couple of years. I'm gonna get that signed. But I love the ringside exclusives. They do such a good job on these. And oddly enough, like this was originally, I think it was like $35, $36. For some reason, they dropped the price by $4 for like one day. I don't know, but I was like, yeah, might as well take it. But that's all I got.
Hell yeah. What about you, Will?
That was some pretty cool stuff, and definitely got the vintage kicking here. Got the old school Hulk Hogan thermos brand lunchbox, and
Hell
what's cool?
yeah.
I've only ever had a couple of these that are truly complete. With the paperwork
With the
inside
nice.
and the thermos. So I think this is only maybe the second one I've ever had that was 100% complete. So that thing is just totally badass right there.
Hell yeah. You put
Other
some
thing that
chalky
I
milk in
got
there.
from this, yeah, no, yeah, or some ravioli, right? Other thing I got this weekend, that right there is badass.
It is.
Man,
Hell
Brett
yeah.
has
Same
some
exact. I
good
had that same
signature.
exact one.
Ultimate sign.
I want it.
I got that signed by Ben. Ben signed that
I
for me.
mean, I've been waiting a while on that one.
Brian, you
Yep,
let
I've been waiting
Ben
a
sign
while
your
on
Bret
that
Hart
one, and
figure?
finally.
That's
Ben's great at
fucking
that.
ruined then. If it's got Ben's auto on it.
Been waiting a while on that one and finally got it.
What he's
so.
saying is he had me go get it done for him by
Yes.
Brett.
Steven,
And
no, Steven's just being Steven. It's okay. Just
I
let
know.
him be his way.
Even with the toe fetish.
Yeah.
Hey, listen here, dog. You
Yeah,
over there
so-
with I got a raptor fetish. That's
so
what it
pretty
was.
good.
It wasn't nothing to do
And-
with toes. It's a raptor claw fetish.
Had a gun sitting there, and all you can look at is my toes. Telling you,
But
you
you
got
need to
a
shoot them
fetish,
off, dog.
Jesus.
That's the only way you got. The only way you're gonna break through the fossilized talons.
Dr. Nick is
Shouldn't have started it, man. I'm sorry.
Oh no.
Edibles kicking in.
Ooh, dude, you got roasted.
call Roger.
Turn
Jet,
that
though.
oven off.
He
He's
smells
done.
like a marshmallow.
I make fun of people on YouTube like all the time, so it's pretty easy to pull some shit out, you know. Anyways, Will, I kind of interrupted you there. I'm sorry. What was the last thing you were saying?
No, just how happy I was to get that Brett, for the PC.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, I got quite a bit of stuff, but those are the two that I just wanted to kind of highlight this week.
What's Brett like to me? I've heard he's really nice.
He's great.
Because I'm hoping I get to
Depends on
meet
the
him.
day. Depends on the
I
day,
love
like
him.
Jake.
I love the guy. I met him middle of the year this year, and great guy to talk to. Took a photo with him, got his contact information. Great guy.
Because he's been one of my favorites for a long time, and most of the conventions that he's been at have always been so far away. I'd like to meet him in person if I can.
Will, as many times as you met him, he should know you by name by now.
No, not like Hulk does, unfortunately. But like I said, it just depends on the day. It really depends on the day.
Big Will in the house. You'll get there, man. Brett will know you
Yeah,
by name, sure enough. If not, we'll go eat at his restaurant and eat him out of business, you know.
Kane's going to want to know my name by this weekend.
Yeah, we might have to.
I taught
Hell
him
yeah,
how
man.
to do the ball for life sign.
Nice. Well, Brian, why don't you go ahead and wrap us up, man? We're getting towards the end of the show here.
All right, well, I have one thing to show, and I was
Take
at
us home.
Walmart. I was at Walmart last weekend dropping off my son, and you guys know I really love AEW, but I know I'm going to see this guy, I don't know, around March, so I picked it up. I got the AEW Sting.
And
So,
that's
I like that.
I know we'll
There
see
you
him,
go.
so I got it just to have him sign it. So
what
But that's
you
all I
got
have.
to finish
I
the
like that
whole
figure.
segment. Just a Sting AEW figure.
what about it?
You better open that fridge and have like 200 more figures in there, man. You were the grand finale, and you're just like, here's my Sting figure.
He's got a fridge
gotta-
full
listen.
of Corrigades.
Here's the thing. You got to keep him wanting for more, okay? So you can't give him everything all the time. You gotta give him
That's
something
true.
to come back for. So
You just
That's
got to
true.
cuss him. You got
Less
to
is more.
cuss him, Brian.
Got to get
just-
that limited
yeah, you just-
edition Nyla Rose figure, you know.
Yeah, you just
Yeah.
gotta cuss at me, man. That'll
that
get me
one
to shut
definitely does not need drop down hips.
up. Right.
Hell
No. That's a really good figure though. I like that Stinger. And the
It
only other
doesn't matter
thing,
what Nyla Rose has. if
That'll
she has
probably
top
be his last
down
one for a
hips,
while.
Kev's gonna take it.
what'd you say?
I said it doesn't matter on that Nyla Rose if she has drop down hips. Kev's gonna take it.
Fuck no, I'm
Whoa.
not.
Damn, Kev, are you like Roger taught you like that?
Just a
Oh,
last
Brian.
minute heel turn here.
Jesus, Roger's just
She got something down there that ain't going to let her have drop down.
Hey, those Bianca Belairs are shipping out soon, man.
I know I pre-ordered it.
she has a rooster lollipop.
He's gonna get 2 copies.
I didn't pre-order no damn Nyla Rose, and I'm not going to either.
She has a rooster, man.
Somebody's just sending Nyla Rose to Rick Steiner's house. Be like, can you sign this?
Jesus.
I'll pay $120 for him to sign that. But yeah, other than that, I was just gonna say, Brian, man, you're gonna be hooked on AEW figures now. Next thing you know, you're gonna be calling Nick and be like, Nick, can I get a Dan Housen figure?
Listen, here's the thing. You guys said this. You guys said this about the same thing about when I got that Kane pop figure, that I'd be buying all these pops. No, I know my limits.
I'm glad you have the withstraints, man, because I've gotten into so many lines over the years.
Oh
where I
yeah,
was like,
couldn't
I'm not
tell.
Yeah.
Had no
just a
clue.
little bit, just a few
Just on
things.
out
You
of
know?
You got a
road.
couple
Listen, all I care about right now are ultimates and superstars. That's all I
and
really.
drop down hips, guys.
Drop down here.
Be
And
honest,
not to
drop down
mention,
here.
Dr. Nick is wearing the Pizza Planet shirt.
Yeah.
The Pizza Planet shirt from Toy Story.
Oh yeah. Respect. Hell, I'd wear a Pizza Planet shirt too if I had one.
Now I'm gonna go watch some 48 Hours.
Me too.
Really?
I love Toy Story.
Yeah, that's good shit, man.
Mhm.
Well, guys, I think that's going to conclude it for this week, man. Thank you guys so much for sticking with us to the end. And, next week we'll be back again Wednesday night. Of course, Tag Champs going to be on Tuesday night. So you get your TRC fix Tuesday and Wednesday. And that's all I got. Anybody else want to say anything before we wrap up?
Hope everybody has a
Love you
great
guys.
week.
Yep.
So have a great night, everybody. Yep.
Absolutely.
Thank you, everybody. Have a great night. See you soon.
Take care.